CMPRadio.net. This is the morning meeting. We are live from the Streambox King Studios. Queen Nif in the building. Mr. Yaz said it. Listen, man. We just want to thank everybody for coming out last night. The Hayes Lounge.
Yes, we had a ball.
CMP night. See, we got the balloons. Shout out to KR. Shout out to EU. Shout out to Sugar Shack. Shout out to the whole family down there at Hayes Lounge, man. Get down there, man. It's really a family down that joint, man. They really showed us a very nice time. So we be down there. Mike Martin said he's willing to do every third Wednesday down that joint. We gotta figure out, you know what I mean, some noise, get us in the. We might be behind the bar next Wednesday. Might be behind the bar. We'll show the bar and then we'll sit behind the joint. Just to kind of make it exclusive where you can't get to us, because you know everybody
was just walking up. Right. But I did like that live audience interaction, like them standing behind and voicing their opinions. It was kind of like it was like a talk show.
Yeah, right, it was like super loud.
Yeah, but they was saying they couldn't hear us anyway, but they were like their feedback was making the conversation like. Dope.
Yeah, then you just came in and be a bully all of the joint. No, because you gotta understand.
You can't bash black businesses because you had one bad experience.
Well, I say that all the time. But
yeah, so don't say that I'm going to spend my money with the other man, with the other race, because the brother man didn't give you the proper business. It's all about what you pay for too. And like I said, you can't be the person to assess the situation. That's not your job. You say, I have an issue, allow them to assess the situation and tell you what you need.
All right, we're going to get back into that. Let me go ahead and pay these bills. Streambox Kings. If you don't know now, go to streamboxkings.com, mention CMPRadio.net, and get $25 off your future Streambox, man. Listen, cut that cable cord, get rid of that cable note, man. $350 to watch 100 and... How many channels is it? 985 channels. And ain't nothing ever on TV, especially on Saturdays between the hours of 12 and 6. Nothing's on TV. So get yourself a Streambox where you can go back and check out all the old shows, all the new shows. You can watch the new movies. You can watch the old movies, man. Hit up GK. Hit up Hank. Get yourself a Streambox. Hayes Lounge, 291 in Hayes Street, Monday through Friday, happy hour 5 to 7. Tuesday is $2 Tuesday. Wednesday is CMP night. Thursday is $2 Thursday. $2 so nice they had to do it twice. Hayes Lounge, Sugar Shack in the back. Pressure Ink for all your branding needs. Logos, backdrops, banners, t-shirts, socks, drawers, hats. Whatever you need, he can put your brand on it. That's Al Layton, Pressure Ink. KC Electric, licensed professional electricians. Let Kyle Davis and his team of dedicated technicians get your sockets right. Morning, noon, and night. Yeah, ladies. Ain't nothing like some sparky sockets. Fellas, if you suffer from beardral issues like I do, holla at my man, Steve the Barber Fontaine. Just Him Barbershop, 1117 Powell Road. And get that beard right. Ain't nothing like a funky beard when you hug the ladies, man. Smell like from under. No, gotta have a nice, soft, silky beard so the ladies can touch it. You know what? Tim wear that shirt to say, if you touch my beard, we go together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he go with a lot of females. I feel sorry for you. Two kings giving you their abstract views of life. You go down there and get yourself an art monster, or you can get yourself a tattoo, or you can do what I did and get a tattoo of an art monster. See, it's your art monster. It's your tattoo. It's something special for you. So check them out, man. Go holler at them. Kenneth Picasso Hunt, Damien, I Do Tattoos Boston's. Now, if you got some announcements.
I do. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the morning meeting. So, of course, you know today's Thursday.
Is it?
The 13th, yes. Tomorrow is the 14th of December. So tomorrow.
Birthday in 9 days.
Tomorrow is the comedy show. Listen, I know you heard about CMP's Funny February that's coming. So we're going to be at the comedy show because we need to see who we poaching. So y'all need to be at the comedy show. Listen, the comedy show is tomorrow. You got Emmett Cooks, you got Tom, you got Lamar Ty, you got Squeak, you got Big E from down the way. It's $15 entry fee. It's a lot more people on that ballot. But what I'm saying is just be there, gut busting grown folks time. Then the after party is on 4th and Highland Avenue. Grown folks time again. I don't know what time the after party ends, but I'm just saying once you get down there at 4th and Highland, they have grown folks fun. Then we got the 15th, Saturday, December the 15th, the opening of the CAT Center, the Cultural Arts and Technology Center. Listen, they came up here. Miss Tara came up here. She let y'all know if y'all need help with a 501c3, free of charge. Understand, this is a very informative place to go to. Their business hours are Monday through Saturday, 9 until 5, I believe. You go down there, they help you. They don't expect you to get. They do expect you to do something. They expect you to give back. So whatever information you receive, give it to someone else.
Oh,
so
you ain't missed too much.
Their grand opening.
Glad you're back from the dead.
She doesn't remember
her birthday.
Most of the week.
Right.
So their grand opening is Saturday, the 15th, from 11 until 2 p.m. Come through, get some good information. They have programs for children, for adults, everything. 501c3, LLCs. They teach you how to start a business. You can be a teacher there for makeup, artistry, hair, anything. Like it's like the best center we've ever had brought to our city right now. 2300 West 4th Street, 2nd floor. Come on up, have a good time. I mean, come listen. Conference rooms, small banquet hall, like whatever you need is there in this area, this space. Then you have the Sip and Shop with Sherry at the Abstract Art Galleries for $5. $5 tickets comes with 5 raffle tickets. You have the opportunity to win a photo shoot, an art monster painting, not a portrait, a different type of painting. So no, you don't get to win a portrait for $5. You get to win a ticket to the next event or 2 tickets to the next event. I mean, listen, you get the opportunity to winning is fun, and you get to drink, and she has wine. Don't get there late because it's not like an unlimited amount of wine. It's just whatever is here is first come, first serve. That's how that goes. Then you got the 21st, the holiday on the Ave. Hold up. Nope. 16th. I'm sorry. The 16th. The pull up for Peabody. If you ever loved Peabody, Ronald Williams Jr., if you've ever loved him, pull up for Peabody the 16th. Boots and Bonnets. 1 p.m. until it's a day party. Come on through, have some fun, show my guys some love, drink some Henny, do a little dance in the background, make me think you a Crip dancer, I don't know. Come through.
A Crip dancer?
Yeah, because he was
don't have dancers.
They do. They be the ones
Crips.
that be in the background, they be doing the two-step, and then they be going like
dancers.
this. No, they was Crips.
They're not Crip dancers.
They was dancers.
They're just Crips.
It is a dance called the Crip Walk.
But they're not dancers.
Oh, well, one of them started it.
But that don't mean they're dancers.
They was a dancer.
That's a dance team. You don't give the Crips, then call them dancers.
They dancers.
So it's a select group in the Crips.
They're dancers. They be the ones that turn the party.
Yeah, they don't pull out guns. They don't sell drugs.
They the dance battle party.
They're not the enforcers.
No.
They the dancers.
Yeah.
So they got you shot.
I'm just saying.
All right.
All right, and then we're accepting donations for holiday on the app. You're gonna have to send this information in beforehand, Luke DeMarco. Now you acting like something. I wasn't gonna say what I wanted to say, but the holiday on the app is accepting donations. Contact Lou DeMarco or Johnny May Contact Lou DeMarco, Johnny May, Kenny Hunt, or Devin Star Shooters with if you would like to make a donation, whether it be your time, your funds, donating toys for the kids. I mean, holiday on the app is going to be lit. What day you decorating, Lou? So then we have the Amari Tucker's 8th annual toy drive. The Amari Tucker's 8th annual toy drive is very personable to me because the first toy drive was done at our church. And it has since grown. And it's like an amazing thing. She's a kid who wants to give back. And despite the fact that her parents are in it, she's in it. So shout out to Jaleel and Jackie Tucker for doing exactly what they do, and that's give back to our community. Guess who didn't forget about us? They didn't. So then we had the 22nd. We have the Ugly Sweater Party. So come through to the Ugly Sweater Party. Of course, it's JP's birthday. He keeps reminding us every day his birthday is in how many days?
9 days.
9 days until JP's birthday.
9 days.
9 days.
I don't bother nobody.
Aren't we in the 12 days of Christmas now?
I don't know nothing about Christmas. Peace and quiet. So, that's the only thing I want my true love to give to me. Peace and quiet.
Well, you don't sing it. That's like making somebody scream.
Shit.
So we got the Ugly Sweater Party on the 22nd. Then we got the New Year's Eve event. Listen, you got 3 rooms. You got live entertainment. You got open bar. You got an unlimited buffet. You got all of these things from 8 p.m. until 12 a.m. You got the live Keys to Success show being filmed right there. Listen, you don't want to miss it. You got cash prizes for the best dressed female, best dressed male, and the best dressed couple. So you can come. Now, don't be the person that comes and you look better than your date. Oh my God, that is like sad. Like, y'all, come on, y'all gotta get together, like collab. Like, listen, you gotta do an old school. So, you have that. And that is a $40 entry fee. He just started talking to himself and stuff. He mad because he gotta put this suit on.
I'm not wearing no suit.
Sad lie.
Ain't no sad lie.
Sad lie. You gotta put on a suit with these shoes.
Be right there with my sweatpants.
Sharp.
Watch me
sharp. We getting sharp. CMP going rap, buddy.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you is.
No, I'm not.
Is so.
Watch what happens.
Okay. Y'all think he gonna wear shoes in a suit?
I'm not.
He ain't gotta wear no tie. He gotta wear his shirt on, because he gotta be that rough looking. He wearing a fedora.
It's a working day.
Yeah, so you gotta come as a 1920s reporter.
I'm coming as Pierre.
1920 reporter.
Coming as Pierre working the party. Come on, let's go. Carry on.
And then we move over to January. We have the Pajama Jammy Jam for CCSA. Shout out to the CCSA Lady Sabres for the win against Chai. Yes, honey, they are on to something. So we got the Pajama Jammy Jam for the kids for the CCSA. Held at CCSA.
No, you don't have to be a student there, but you do have to respect the building. The price is $5. You must wear pajamas, and their concession stand will be open. So if you would like to purchase a beverage or a little light snack, they do have that option as well. Note to self, they have security and it's tight. Yes, they have chaperones and they tight too. So CCSA Pajama Jammy Jam for the kids will be hosted at 1500 Highland Avenue, and your kids can come out. My kids are on to something, your kids should be on to something too. They said they have absolutely nothing for the children to do. So the School of the Arts are opening their doors to give the kids something to do. Clean fun. There will be police on the ground. So I don't want anybody thinking you're getting away with anything. It's not going to happen. And then on February the 15th, I'm going to start over in February because you need to purchase your tickets early. This fight will sell out soon. Okay, so the Art of War 10 to 2300 Arena fight. If you love the MMA fighting, here it is. MMA fighting is having the Art of War 10. The pricing is $55, $75, and $125. I don't know.
What you get for $125? You get a bucket of teeth after it's over?
A bottle?
I need a tooth.
I need a t-shirt.
I need a tooth.
And a little blood stain.
Yeah, no one no blood stain.
I just put it on the t-shirt. Like,
on the t-shirt that they giving to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Give me all of that for $125 from 6 p.m. until. You can get your tickets at 2300arena.com or call 267-212-6833. It doesn't say who to ask for. I guess when they answer the phone, they'll say 2300 Arena. How may I help you? And you can purchase your tickets over the phone. Whew. Oh, let's not forget about First Fridays for January. January the 4th. If you have a birthday you would like to celebrate with CMP, listen, they got gifts for y'all.
Do they?
Yeah, they get a bottle.
Either champagne or wine.
Or champagne or wine.
Right.
They get a table. First Fridays is lit. Let's go. So, we on to something.
So we'll be picking all the January birthdays. Every show will have a person to pick for the January birthday. So.
Yes. I picked my person, and I have slam on the phone. Yeah.
Right. So we got to make a flyer and everything. So.
Oh, $125, you get front row, food, and drinks.
That ain't enough.
That's not enough?
I need a tooth.
Is that an unlimited amount of drinks? Like, I ran the bill.
Right, I need a tooth.
A tooth?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
What's up?
So, are we going to do birthdays early or mid?
Yeah, we'll do birthdays right now, because if we do them any later, you be forgetting.
Oh. Don't keep thinking because I'm the oldest one, I'm the one that forgets.
What's MMA? That's what you... I don't know. I'm going to look. This ain't the show for that. This ain't the show for that.
What do MMA stand for?
Mixed martial arts. Right.
Okay. Well, I knew that one of them M's had to stand for martial. So what's the mix in it? It's like a boxing and karate.
Well, you mix the different. But you mix the different types of martial arts. So it's not just one particular. It's not taekwondo or.
I'm just thinking about the conversation in Yanks the other day.
Like,
we was in Yanks and it was like, tell my nephew.
Oh yeah. He said he wanted to shoot a motherfucker. Say he beat the shit out of him. I said, damn. Hey, it happens, man. Mixed martial is rough in that ring, man. So shout out to Flash, man, for having the guts and the will to get back in that joint every time, man. So, I ain't doing it.
I can't.
Oh, you ain't about to fuck me up.
My cousin is a martial artist.
And it's like it's not boxing. So they basically fighting.
MMA fighter.
Yeah, congratulations.
From South Media.
Congratulations.
Milan Williams.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's my guy.
That's why he told me leave my cousin alone yesterday. Like, damn, like
big old white boy.
Come on, man. We've been doing this for too long now. Like, don't just be tuning in now trying to change rules and shit.
Tell people to leave me alone.
Right.
Yo, listen. So good morning, guys. So listen,
yeah, these balloons from last night.
Yeah.
KR, you know.
Shout out to KR. Shout out to KR.
EU, you feel me?
And EU and Sugar Shack and
Cultivating mature positivity.
I think I said her name right.
Oh, we're singing Happy Birthday.
Yes.
Feliz Navidad. What you say?
No, her name is Felice.
Oh.
I
thought you was singing Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. La cucaracha.
Listen, guys, we got a lot of birthdays today. So, listen, we just turn it down. We got Demetrius Pearson. We got Lamar Andrew Berry. We got Aaron Wilkins. We got Trey Sadler.
Yo, Trey.
Brian Henderson. Dennis Shaw.
Coach.
Happy birthday, Dennis. That's the coach, right? Yeah. Okay. We got Gatney Tate. Happy birthday, Gatney.
Yo, bro.
Well, happy 50th birthday, Stein. Yes, Jay Stein. We got Queenie Cooper. We got Kenna Mackin. We got Michelle Moore. And we got Sarah Selena. But listen, y'all, we got two very special birthdays today. We got Meat Mills. Shout out to Meat from the Bennett. Happy birthday, Meeta. Then we got Miss Ashley. Slim Chick Washington. Listen, you know Miss Ashley.
Oh.
Miss Ashley's birthday is today. So if y'all know Miss Ashley's part of the CMP family, please tell her and not the CMP say happy birthday. The turn up gonna be real, Miss Ashley. Happy 23rd birthday, boo. Yeah, she is a loyal. She is a loyal, honey.
It's your birthday, though. Show them love.
Listen, today is a good turn-up day, honey. Yes, it is.
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday. It's a turn-up Thursday.
All right. Happy birthday to everybody out there celebrating the birthday. All my December babies, man. You were truly a gift to your parents.
Oh, that was the gift?
Yeah, that was the gift.
Oh, okay.
And then for the rest of your life, you just had to celebrate your birthday with Christ, I guess. That's fucking, Christ gets everything. You don't get nothing. Anyway.
Hey,
Michael Jordan smacking players.
Hey, Doc Henry, how are you?
Michael Jordan smacking players. You heard about that?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
You know what we never talked about?
Oh, we never talked about.
So, is it the white house?
The white around your lips.
The gay.
Oh, him. We talked about it. We talked about it on Friday. I mean, listen, if you like, he's a bottom too. Shout out to T. Kane, man. She sat up here and explained that because I didn't understand. I said, "What's a bottom?"
It's your birthday. Happy birthday, my hog.
It ain't her birthday.
You got the cake, boo? She got a cake. It's always her birthday.
Cake. Anyway, yeah, like I don't understand. So she said Dwight Howard was a bottom. Then I remember the post that Dante Hollis, our good brother, put up saying that he was on the IR for something being wrong with his butt.
Yeah.
So then I put two and two together. But he really is on the IR. He had back surgery. So he got he really got his back blown out.
The video shows that he walked past somebody and he stuck his hand in between their legs. Like he's going to go sit down. He's not working. He walks past one of the players and he sticks his hand in between their legs. Like literally, it's not like he almost fell and it was an accident. No, he did it. He stuck his hand in between their thighs. So
T. Kane said he too big for that shit. Like he's like 6'11", damn near 7 foot. So how would you like a bottom?
I don't think that size matters though. I don't think that.
That's what I said, because I said look at Magic Johnson's son. Like again, we are passing no judgment here, right? You are definitely able to do whatever it is. I just wanted to know. Well, she wanted to know because I don't want to talk about it.
I mean, I just say it like this. I think your sexual preference is your sexual preference. I don't think that it's something that anyone who does not have that in them should worry about. It shouldn't be a concern of ours. However, it just was very funny to find out that huge man is gay.
So yeah, congratulations to him.
He like so congratulations on that.
But you know, what I was talking about was Michael Jordan's smacking Malik Monk. It was a playful slap, but you know he still slapped him. Like, yo, what's up, man? Getting a technical foul.
Good morning, Mike.
Being that he is a legend. Is that outside of what he should do? He's a legend and he's an owner of a team.
Right.
So should an owner be able? If that was any other owner, would we be okay with that? If that was
were they joking?
If that was the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban, and he was, I mean, is that okay? It's a playful slap, but again, would it be taken the wrong way if it was a white owner slapping a young player?
It depends on what. See, all right, here we are back at this topic again. People are too soft now in life. No. Words hurt you.
Why
actions
are they soft?
Hurt you more.
Why are people soft?
I don't know. It's like
participation trophies.
Okay, it's
made
like
the world soft.
Okay, it's like you can't
deal with disappointment
with anybody.
You can be yourself.
No, you can't.
Why can't you?
I can't
let you be you.
I can't playfully. Okay, so now 20 years from
and
now,
then you get mad at me
I'm this whole image of whatever you built me to be, and now I can't playfully say anything to you without possibly gaining a lawsuit. So it's like I can't be myself. Like, dog, we've been joking like this since we was 10.
Well, with the lawsuit situation, you think people are just opportunistic? Like, they taking advantage of a system that was built for you to get a leg up if somebody embarrassed you?
Okay, so you've been my guy for all this time, and I got to accept this from you? Like, the 20 year with the bill situation. How you going to get to come back 20 years when we both was making it then? Like, we both was getting our foot in the door then. I just was the black man that you thought that you was going to ride my coattail on. Like, that's not fair. I can't be myself.
The bill situation, you talking about Bill Cosby?
Yeah. Like, come on. Like, he wasn't there for 10, 15, 20 years when he started giving out the roofies. He'd been there. So, I mean, he just got there. I didn't mean to say been there. He had just got there. So, he had fell in line with the Me Too crew. So, it was crazy. It was the happening thing. We all was popping roofies at that time. Everybody was pill popping. So it wasn't like she was in the room and she wasn't high. Everybody in this joint was high. But because now I'm a billionaire, you get to say to me, 20 years ago, you gave me a roofie and it wasn't something. You can't be yourself no more. Everybody is like soft. Everybody see dollar signs. And they spend the money faster when they didn't earn it than they did when they earned it. So that lady, just like that lady, she went through the millions that they gave her from her first accusation. So she right back on the bandwagon. No, you can't be yourself. People are by far too soft. Like, come on. Now they're going to be like the little basketball players that's coming up now, and all these chicks running around here popping perks. So now when this little basketball player makes it, it's going to be like, well, when we was at 17 years of age, he raped me. You're like, nah, sis, we didn't. We all was in the telly. Everybody, we was having a kickback, and everybody was doing X, Y, and Z, and this is what happened. But guess what? Because they did have sex, and it was so long ago, nobody's going to come forward and say, nah, we all was perked up at the time. You can't be yourself no more. People too soft. They soft. Good morning, Miss Ashley.
So it's not...
Happy birthday. You missed it, boo.
So Dwight Howard is being himself.
He's being himself.
Right.
Michael Jordan probably playfully played with them all day long. They slap box in the locker room all day long.
But here we are as an owner of a team.
Okay.
As an owner of a team, right? Had he would have been white and he slapped the kid.
So now we gotta put race on it.
But that's how we define actions. Like, you will allow someone to say something to you and then not allow someone else to say that exact same thing.
That's everybody though. Like, we can call each other bitches as a female, but as soon as a man calls us a bitch, it's offensive. We can call each other nigga as blacks, but as soon as a Caucasian says it's offensive.
Of course.
However, or a white homie who's not really white, but his skin color says he is, can say the word nigga, so to speak.
No.
Yeah.
Not around me.
They be like, my nigga.
Not around me.
Listen.
Never.
So to speak,
and I have white friends. So to speak, they can. But again,
so they might not say nigga, but they be like my nigga or bro.
No.
They'll bro you to death.
Bro is cool.
No, it's not.
Why not? We human.
No.
Why not?
We're human. Exactly.
Right. So we're all brothers.
We can call each other
we're
my
all
nigga.
Brothers. No.
If we can call each other my nigga, what's wrong with the friend if we're using my nigga as a form of friendship? So if we using that word,
your melanin deficiency does not prohibit you from being my brother. What prohibits you from being my brother is your attitude and the way you treat the people that are around me. That's what prohibits me. So everybody is a brother. Everybody is a sister. What's up, bro? But when you get to talk about my nigga, no, you didn't know. You don't get to use that word, right? Your people didn't get hung from trees and babies ripped out and stomped and killed and castrated, and your nephews didn't get beat up and sprayed with. No, so you can't say it's not a white person out here that can walk up to me. I don't care how long we've been in these trenches together and say, "What's up, my nigga?" Nah, nigga, that ain't for you. That ain't for you, bro. That ain't for you. That's not for you.
I see them all the time, though.
Right,
you see them all the time. They be the ones they be standing. They the ones that'll go harder for you than your bros that's standing next to you. Than the black guy that's allowed to call you my nigga.
I still don't give you the right to call me.
Why?
That.
Because they are the ones that beat you.
Listen, because I said so.
Listen.
Because I said so. That's how I feel. Again, it has nothing to do with being a soft society.
It's okay for the black man standing next to you to call you my nigga.
Absolutely.
They earned that right?
Absolutely.
That's sad, though, bro.
It's not sad.
Nobody shouldn't earn the right to call you my nigga, anything. By the simple fact that it was slapped in the face of our ancestors a million times and degraded them. So I don't care if we dropped the ER and made it into an A, it still means the same exact thing. And when you add an S to the end, it means sagging, which is spelled backwards as niggas, which they defined us by in the beginning. Whenever all these black males are running around with their pants sagging, if you turn it around, it spells niggas, and then we are the only ones that they assume dress like that. So therefore, they stereotype us with that and call us exactly how they see us. And if it's okay for us to say it, why is it so harmful or hurtful for them to say it? The same thing with the word bitch. A woman will bitch her girlfriend to death. As soon as a nigga say, y'all bitches getting on my nerves, it's a World War III.
What you just say?
A nigga.
Right. So again, right? The word is used either, and it's used however you want to use it. If you want to be derogatory with it, you can. If you want to use it as a salutation or a way to greet your people, you can. This is what I say, right? Words have a lot of power. So if words have a lot of power, then you either remove that word completely and no one can use it, or you harness the power of it to try to bring people together. So when it was used and when it's used in the community and when it's used in, brothers say, what's up, my nigga? Yeah, okay, I get you don't want to use that word. So what's up, bro? What's up, king? What's up, beloved? What's up, son? You know what I'm saying?
Nobody saying what's up, beloved, to another man. I see it so much, and I'm like, wow, I don't want nobody saying what's up, beloved.
Why not? So you would rather have? So pick between those two words. Which one would you rather him greeting with?
Bro, I'm gonna say.
I said pick between the two words. There's only two words available: beloved and nigga. Which one?
But you didn't say only two words.
I just said it. You said you don't like beloved.
I don't want neither one.
So I said pick between. Why? What is wrong with beloved?
Got a lot of the White Howards running around here. I don't like that word. I just don't. It just doesn't come off to me as a manly greeting method. And I see people say it all the time. That's good, beloved. And I looked up the orientation of the word to find out where it was derived from. So I did look into it to see. I understand why they say that amongst each other. I totally get it. It just, to me, doesn't sound like no.
That's why we have.
When you walking up to another man in the street, what's up, beloved? You look.
If
like
you walk,
in the world.
Right. I'm not. Okay. Again, that's the way you take it. But that's not how it's given, right? Because at the end of the day, we have to have more love for each other if we're gonna survive.
Okay.
If you're pushing love, you feel me? Then the community will have love. If you're pushing hate and animosity, then you're gonna have hate and animosity. You're not understanding of a brother walking up to somebody and say, "Yo, what's up, beloved? How you feeling?" And you thinking, "Oh, that must be gay." Right? Now has a little boy thinking that saying beloved is gay and acting like a man. Being a man, truly being a man, and being comfortable in your sexuality is fucking wrong. So now you got this little boy, because half of half of these little angry motherfuckers that's out here, they hiding from who they are because they feel like, oh, if I say this is soft, so I gotta be this, beat your chest, jump out the fucking tree, point an AK at somebody and shoot somebody down because somebody's gonna look at me like I'm soft or I'm not manly enough. What is the definition of a man to a woman? You want a man to take care of you, provide for you, give you everything, but he gotta be tough, he gotta be crazy. Well, if he's tough and crazy, he can't do it.
He has to be tough and crazy. That's what protection is? Because the strongest form of protection is the words that you use to... The strongest form of protection is the words that you use to define me. That you fighting for me, fist fighting for me in the street does not protect me.
So him being able to call another man and saying, what's up, beloved, tells you that he's able to love you. That's what it should say, because he has love in his heart.
I just don't like how it sounds.
He has love in his heart for a whole nother motherfucker.
I already looked up the definition of why people use it, where it was derived from. I looked up all of that. I still don't like how it sounds. You walking up to another man in the street, what's up, beloved?
For how long in your life did you not like the way my nigga sounded?
I've never liked it.
Right.
We weren't even allowed to use the word
nigga
or my nigga.
But that happens more than beloved, right?
That happens way more than beloved.
Right. But because
we've taken ownership over a word that once smacked the face of our ancestors. So, okay.
But again, people are trying to find new words to use. And
so they just gonna pop up with beloved.
Absolutely. I'm supposed to be loved. Be loved, right? I'm supposed to be loved.
I would take king to constantly remind the blacks of where they came from, that they were once the kings and queens of America. I mean, of the world.
I can't tell you that because that's not what the history books teach you.
I don't have that.
Game.
We've
it's
already
a game.
proven that the history books teach you what they want you or need for you to know. So they want you to believe that you weren't in existence at one point in time, that you were always nothing in life. So you have to, as you keep saying, keep educating our youth and so we are aware of what we have done, where we are now, and what can be done. I totally understand that.
Right.
However, I would prefer for a black man to walk up to another black man and say, "What's going on, King? How are you today? What's going on, Prince?"
So this
to the young boy instead of "What's going on, my nigga?"
So this
nigga, you crazy.
This is where you at, right? When people research history and they see that kings fought over turf, right? It could be switched around the other kind of way, right? I'm a king of this block right here, and I don't necessarily have to get along with the king of another block. But when someone comes to you with the word...
But the kings had to sit at the table together.
They never sat at the table together, only if another king was trying to take over their territory, right? So when people read history, they interpret it the way they want to.
Right.
So if I'm calling you a king, I'm calling him a king, and we got beef now, it's a kingly war. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you don't,
it was just done in the discretion of one's man.
But we can't afford to fight with each other because we see that there's nobody coming to assist us in our fights.
Gotta be a leader somewhere though, bro.
So that's why you lead with love. So beloved is where that comes from. I'm just telling you. But again, you don't like the way it sounds. You don't like the way it sounds, but bitch, nigga, hoe,
I don't like the way none of that
shit ass, all them words can be thrown out there in the world and it'd be all right.
It shouldn't be. Everybody should change their vocabulary, especially when they're talking in the forefront of a child. Because you don't want the child to grow up and think they can, bitch, let me tell you, I don't want my daughters calling each other bitches. I gave her a name in specific for that reason. I want her to be called that. So I want Najiante, Rachel, Diage, Dakaya, and Dayon to be called by their names, their birthright names that I've given them. I never want my children to call each other bitches. I never want my sons to call each other niggas. If the kids say the word nigga in front of the tree, she be jumping over tables trying to get to them. That is not a word we use in this family.
So again, when we ask the question, how do we change? Not just for one family, because one family changing doesn't affect the whole community.
It starts with them, though. It starts with your family.
Right. But it starts with your family, but it also starts with acceptance of words that are more positive than the words we are currently using.
Right.
So if you put a bad connotation on a word that has a positive meaning and don't like it, right, then that makes other people not like it. So now when somebody says beloved, what, he gay? No, he ain't gay. You feel me? He's more comfortable in his sexuality than anybody is because he know, yo, this is my brother, and he should be loved, period. What's up, beloved? And keep it moving. Son, God, king, all that shit. It all works. It all works.
I still don't like how it sounds.
All right, well.
This is the first time I ever said I don't like how it sounds. I don't.
You don't like too much of nothing. Difficult ass.
Says the difficult man.
I am very difficult.
But listen, but it's
they
real.
tried to take the audio yesterday for that drink. I'm gonna play it again today. It's my theme song. All 2019.
Here's the thing with words and their definitions. And if we allow one another to be disrespectful with verbal, then why are we so offended when someone else says it of a different race? I don't think that that's what we have to get away with. We're not brushing it under the rug or anything, but we're just not allowing it to overpower us to the point where it's offensive.
She don't like nothing, Lou. She don't like her man working third shift either. Go ahead, keep on going.
I don't have a man, first of all, and so therefore they can work wherever they want. Now,
Mrs. Grinch.
You better worry about if you working third shift.
Yeah.
What?
In a world where men can't work third shift.
I don't think people in a relationship should work third shift.
And say the word beloved. Nif T. Williams is here to teach you about your manliness.
I mean, you can run around and call guys beloved all you want.
Hey, beloved.
And that's just how they sound when they walking up.
That is how they sound.
Boy walked up and was like, "What's good, beloved?" I said, "Wait a minute, hold on." So initially, I thought he was talking to the woman, and then the man shook his hand.
So you would prefer a man to say, "Hey, beloved, how you doing?" to a woman as opposed to a man?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you think love is only supposed to be given to the opposite sex?
No, not at all. No.
Because only
love should be displayed between everyone. Right. I definitely understand. I just don't like how it sounds. Maybe it's because of the people that I'm hearing say it.
Right.
That could be the reason. However, I just feel like brother, king is other words that you can use.
Absolutely.
And don't call them bruh or bro. What's up, good brother?
I think it's cool.
It's emphasis.
I think it's cool.
I don't. You would. It's your religion.
It's not just your. See, this is what it's every religion. How do you think Jesus approached people? Do you think he said, "What's up, king"? No.
He ain't say beloved.
How you know? You wasn't there.
Neither were you.
What the fuck? It's in the book. Ain't beloved in the book?
It is the word in there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It did say it is. It's not in red though.
Right.
I didn't say it in red. You know the red text is from Christ.
Who the hell knows what Christ was saying? Like that's false quotation. That's false. You can't say what he was saying.
And your Quran is accurate.
No.
Okay.
I mean, all these books are funny. You keep giving me religion when you already know I ain't banging with too much of it. You already know, so don't associate me with anything. I'm everything, right? I'm the tree. I'm the air. I'm the clouds. I'm not gonna pick a group and point against the other side. I don't do that. I do that for Christmas. You know I do that for Christmas. But I don't do that for nothing else. My grandma went to church.
Why do you keep bringing Christmas into this?
Because that's what it is. That's when you talk the most about religion. Anyway.
Hey, Jackie. That is not when you talk the most about religion.
Anyway, what we talking about? Today? We just talked about the word beloved versus the word my nigga. I'm going to make a post about the joint later. We're going to get your comments. Which word would you rather hear a man say when greeting another man? What's up, my nigga? Or what's up, beloved? And if he does say beloved, do you think that he's gay? Because Nif T. Williams does.
That's a lie. Don't put those words in my mouth.
She said he must be gay. He said beloved to another man. Ooh.
No, I didn't.
He had Dwight Howard.
Don't do that.
You Dwighting it?
Don't do that.
Don't do that?
No, don't do
all right,
that.
okay.
Don't say I said
You just don't like it.
I just don't like how it sounds.
You just don't like how it says. Okay, all right. That's what's gonna happen though. That's what people. I'm just saying. I just wanted you to clarify that because there were people watching that might feel like you feel like if someone says beloved in front of you that they might like Dwight Howard.
They might.
Where my family at, man? What's going on out there today, y'all?
So
it's Thursday.
Today's topic is
it's touchy.
Children.
It's touchy. It's very touchy.
Today's topic is children with disabilities.
Yes.
Right? And how people perceive them in life, whether they feel as though it's something that they can deal with or not.
So she's been watching her Streambox.
Yes.
Right? And on her Streambox, she's been watching Creed.
Yes, it's one.
That's one.
Child with a disability.
Right, and then she was watching Chicago Med. Right.
With children with disabilities.
Right, okay.
So these two shows spoke on children with disability. Creed, his daughter was born deaf. And the one thing that Rocky asked him was, will you still love her if she's not perfect?
Even if she ain't perfect? What? That's what he said.
So then on Chicago Med, the couple comes in and they're having a baby. And they tell the couple, the daughter's born, congratulations, you have a daughter. And the daughter immediately starts having a seizure. So upon his daughter having a seizure, they rush her up to the NICU, of course, and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. They come back and explain to the parents that the daughter has a brain injury, which is also a rare disease that they cannot cure. They cannot fix this child. So she has less than 24 hours to live because she's bleeding at the brain. The parents leave the hospital. So the nurse turns around and says, well, where's the parents? They need to be here with her. They said, no, she left. They left. And she says, they just left? She said, yeah. So the doctor turns around and says, everybody can't endure a sick child. And it's touchy to me because, okay, so 11 years ago, I had twins. And the pediatrician comes in. She's not my pediatrician. She walks in and she says, well, I didn't get to meet your daughter, but I got to meet your son, and he's having seizures. Look at her, I said, who the fuck are you? Like, that was my response because she didn't say good morning. She didn't say, hey, how you doing? Hi, my name is. Anything. She just walks in, hand sanitizing herself, and she says, I got to meet your child, and I didn't get to meet the other one because one had seizures. So I'm like, yeah, get out. Yeah, because clearly you got the wrong patient, number one, and the wrong room. So she's like, well, I need to explain. I said, no, you need to leave. So me thinking I'm a healthy woman, I have healthy children, you can't come in here and tell me that there's something wrong with one of my children.
Right.
So finally the NICU doctor comes around. She says, hi, my name is Dr. So-and-so. Doctor whatever was in here earlier, and she was trying to explain to you. I said, no. She walked in. She didn't explain anything. She walked in and said, and then I repeated what she said. So she was like, well, your son has been having seizures since this morning, and we're now at 1 o'clock. Your son has been having seizures since this morning. He's had 3. We have sedated him. We don't understand why he keeps having seizures because we are not equipped to do this. So we need to ask you, can we give him a spinal tap? Can we do, we need to test the fluid around his spine, and they asked me if they do something else. They wanted to do a CT scan on his brain. So I'm like, do whatever you need to do to fix my child. But I'm a parent, I don't give up. So they're like, okay. So they say, can you come around? We're gonna send transport to come bring you around to the NICU so that you can be next to him. So I sat there for hours, and he was at such peace, like he wasn't sedated or anything. I sit there for hours, he never has a seizure. I'm sitting there with him the whole entire time. The moment I left his side, I didn't even get all the way back to maternity, and he had another seizure. So I'm like, okay, so they come in, they say, listen, they come back to my room, they said, we wanted you to allow you to get settled, blah, 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 but your son had another seizure. And at this point, we've done all we can do here. At this facility, we have to med-vac him to Children's. I'm a big fan of Children's. Like, they are the most impeccable hospital I've ever seen in my life. And this is because of what they've done for my son. So I'm like, well, what do you mean you got a med-vac him? I must be going with him. I'm a mom, I'm going with him. They like, we can't even discharge you because you just went through a C-section, right, and your body is not healed enough. Like, you can't even walk to the steps to the door right now.
And you got your daughter.
Right. No, she good though. She on her own. This how I'm feeling right now. I swear to God. This is me as a mom.
That's why Sweetie act like that.
This is why Sweetie on her own now. She like, I got this.
She foraging in the forest and every fucking thing.
So I tell
2 hours old.
I tell the doctor, I say, well, he can't go by himself. They say, listen, you can send somebody to go with him, but they can't get on the helicopter with him. We're med-vacing him now. We're going to bring him in here to see you, and then he's going to CHOP. So they take him to CHOP. In 20 minutes, they call me back, and they say, your son had a stroke. I'm like, how? He like 2 days old. Who has a stroke at 2 days old? I'm like, y'all must be wrong.
It's a lot of pressure. The seizures built up a lot of pressure in his brain.
No, the seizures were an indicator that he had a stroke. That
he had a stroke.
Yes, he had a stroke coming down to the birth canal. His water he had a stressful birth. That's what they called it, because he was it was
a C-section, but he was already coming.
He was ready, yeah,
right,
and she was blocking it. Right. So it was like, move. So they still go through this.
Get out the way. Right.
Get out my way. Right. And because he was actually baby A, but because he was behind her,
right,
they considered him baby B. So his water sac had already ruptured that morning. He was ready for birth. Right. But they still had. They like no.
The C-section was an emergency C-section.
No, it was the scheduled one. Oh. So. When I'm telling them I think my water broke, because she was in the front, her sac hadn't ruptured. Right. So he still was there just waiting, still trying to get out. He was like fighting his way to get out, and in the meantime he had a stroke. So when he gets to CHOP, they find this black, it's like a gray area in the brain. Right. And they said this is where the blockage was. They said, like, CHOP sent me so much information, faxing it, show her this, give her this, let her see this. Like, they keep you
And
every step of the way.
Informed, up to date, absolutely.
So they like we're handling the seizure part because he can't afford to have another one.
Right.
He will end up with a significant delay if he has another seizure. So they put my son on this medication called phenobarbital. So I'm like, I need to get there. Like I'm his mother. He needs me. If I'm there, he'll feel safe.
Right.
So I made them discharge me early and everything. I'm like, look, is she good? She can go home? Then I'm going home too. Like, we gotta go. I gotta go to CHOP. So I leave there, I go to CHOP, and I go to this stroke ward. And it's an amazing ward. It's like 12 kids in cribs, but it's a nurse for every kid.
Absolutely.
And to the back part of the stroke ward is 4 kids that have been there since birth. They're probably like 3 now.
Right.
No parents have ever visited them. No one is ever there. These nurses or all these children know. So I'm like, where are their moms at? They like, you gotta go home and take care of yourself. I'm like, y'all got a shower? I shower here. Like, my kids is good at home. They like, no, we need you to go. Like, the twin there with me. They got her little cot. Like, I'm there. I'm not leaving. These 2 right now need me 110%. So having a child with a disability, Sweetie been mean since birth. Poor cheek. Yes, Janelle. Having a child with a disability to me is like, he's no different child. He doesn't have a disability right now. Right. But after he was discharged from the hospital, he still was on phenobarbital. He still had different antibiotics and he still had, like, he had so much medication. Like, my schedule was super crazy, and it was because of his schedule. So I'm like, I wasn't really attentive to Dayon how I was to Deshaun. And Deshaun, I carried him around in one of them little African wraps. Yeah, he was always close to me because I was scared he was going to have a seizure. Right. So they sit me down, they say, listen, we have different programs, and one is called the Early Intervention Program, and we want you to sign your son up for the Early Intervention Program. And I look at them and I say, well, what is that? They say it's kids that have gone through the same exact thing that your child has gone through, and we want you to sign him up for this. And I say, oh, so you want me to put him in a room with a bunch of kids that had a stroke and expect him to learn something? I said, nah, Ma. He either gonna keep up or get left. He got 6 siblings at home. We going home. And the doctor looked at me and was like, that's not a wise decision. I said, I'm gonna roll the dice with this. Because if whatever you gonna do for him is gonna be the same thing that I'm gonna do. He's just gonna be around kids that he actually wants that are actually moving. Right. So I never want him to feel stagnant. So she was like, well, I strongly suggest that you do this. And I said, well, give me 6 months. If I can't get him to do the things that he's supposed to do in 6 months, then I will sign him up for the early intervention program. But I'm not doing it now because I believe in myself as a mom. 6 months go past. We come in there. She like, how's he doing? I'm like, it's fine. He got to go to the doctors every 3 months. That's right. Number one. Right. 6 months goes past. He comes in there. She's like, how's he doing? I'm like, fine. He busts her in the head with a ball. Boom. She's like, oh, he's great. So I'm like, but he has fine delayed motor skills. So they're borderline invisible. So if you don't know him, you would never think that he has a delay in any form or fashion. Right. And I look at him and I be like, you are amazing. But at one point in time, he was like, why can't I just be a regular kid? Right. Like, I'm like, you are a regular kid. I can't play sports. I can't do anything. Like, if I fall, you're the first mom there. And, like, it's embarrassing. Right. I'm like, what?
Yeah. He wants to live without limitations. He wants to be a regular child. I think that's what scares a lot of parents. I mean, right now we're talking about, children with disabilities. That's a parent's worst nightmare is your child to have a disability or have a deficiency. I'm not going to call it a deficiency. I think with every gift that is not given in childbirth, there is a gift increased. You know what I mean? So you have children that are born with autism, man, that have spectacular brain sets, functions, like they can do things like, so I think sometimes we think that we're normal. You understand what I'm saying? And then those attributes that your children might not acquire right away, you tend to baby them a little bit and protect them. You know what I mean? When in all actuality, like you gotta let them do it. It's not impossible. You feel me? Like we deal with that word impossible, make it I'm possible. I am possible. And I truly believe that. I have a cousin. When she was born, she wasn't supposed to make it past 2 years old.
Right.
She's 27 now.
See, I never allow medicine to define the length of life. And then they give it to you all the time. 6 months. You got 6 months to live.
Right.
And I totally understand it. But as a parent, I'm one of those people, whether I'm your parent or their parent, or I'm not a parent, I'm just a parent that's in the room and I'm nobody's parent in here, I'm still one of those people who says, my faith is way higher than your medicine will ever be.
Right.
And if this is my last days, if I have to live with what you have given me, I'm going to live it to the best of my ability. It will not be at your restraint. You will not restrain me from being not fatigued.
Absolutely.
And people fall into that. For that mom and that dad to walk out that hospital and allow that baby to die alone, and it was so crazy.
Now we're gonna get on that.
The mom and the dad
walks
out the hospital. Note to self, they're Caucasian. The nurse is black. She said, "This is."
Note to self, being scared again, right? So you have a child, and even in the movie Rocky, that was the first when he was rubbing her stomach, and she was like, "What if she's dead?" You feel me? And he said, "I promise you, she won't be." And I cried because I'm like, bro, you can't make that promise, bro. Like you gonna make.
You see him cry behind
during that test when she didn't respond to the test, like because he felt because he made the promise that it won't happen, that he felt like he let her down.
Right.
So listen, regardless, I say it all the time, man. Regardless of whether the baby is fully functioning or whatever, I'ma love that child with my whole heart because love cures a lot of shit, bro. Like it really does. Like if you love that child and appreciate that child and that child feels that love for you, they will fight through everything. They will fight through everything. He took her to the gym. Now I'm sharing my life with you. The thing that calms me and keeps me calm, I gotta go to that place. She hear the bag. She felt that. She felt the vibrations. You don't have to hear, to feel vibrations and to understand what's going on around you. Right. I think sometimes I say to myself, I wish.
Do you think that people feel disappointed when their children are born with deficiencies?
I think they feel like, because this is what we can do as humans. We have the ability to hide our deficiencies.
Right.
When your child is born with a disability, you can't hide that.
Right.
You feel me? If they can't hear, they need hearing aids. You feel me? They might need the ocular joint. They might need the ocular joint that they actually put into the head now, right? Right. Here. You if you're blind, you're gonna need a cane. You're gonna have to speak with sign language. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, not sign language. You can't see sign language if you're blind. That's deaf.
Braille.
But whatever it is, don't laugh at me right now because I'm trying to be.
Go ahead.
Right. But you can't hide those.
Right.
Disabilities, right? And we as humans hide a lot of our deficiencies. And when you can't do that, then it's like, now it's like, oh shit, like, what am I going to do? A lot of people don't want to take on the responsibility of dealing with a sick child. That's a lot.
So crazy, because then when you get sick, you want somebody to take on the responsibility of you. Whether it be you sick and with a fever and the flu, or you sick with cancer that's uncurable or anything, you want somebody to take care of you. I always put myself in the mindset of what I want somebody to do for me. And as a mom, I go above and beyond for my children. My son couldn't hear. Like after he was like 2, he's sitting in front of the TV, I'm yelling at him. I'm like, why is you sitting so close to the TV? He couldn't hear me. And the whole time, he has this, his ears drain differently than ours. So how we get wax buildup, his hardens, and it kind of sort of turns almost into a cement for him. So I have to like flush his ears with this, it's a solution, but it's more like a laxative. Right. So it goes in and softens it out, and then I gotta go in there and get it out. He'd be like, Mom, I can tell when he can't hear because he'll ignore me by far too many times. So I take him to the back to CHOP, and they give him a hearing test, and they say, well, we can test him and see if he needs tubes in his ears, but we don't think that that's that. Like, that will be our last measure. We don't think that that's that. So they kept trying and trying and trying, and they say he can hear, but something is blocking his eardrum at some point in time. So it's like he gets it on a delay as well. So they give me this medication, and they say if you put this in his ears and it loosens up, pay attention, because it becomes a big wax ball at the beginning of his ears. So as he grew, he learned, Mom, I can't hear today. I need you to go in my ears. And I would go in there myself. They gave me a little syringe. They gave me a little suction thing. They gave me everything that I needed
all the tools.
Yeah, to keep his hearing going. And even still now, he'll come and be like, "Can you clean my ears today?"
Right.
I'll be like, "You couldn't hear?" Like, I ain't heard nothing the teacher said all day. So now it becomes kind of sort of a joke with us. And I'm like, "I think you be turning it on your own."
Right.
He's like, "Yeah, I ain't want to hear it anyway."
I ain't want to hear it anyway.
But like, I could never turn my back on him. No matter what. If he couldn't hear, I'm going to learn sign language, which he knows the beginning phases of sign language. Thanks, shout out to Aunt Byrne from Aunt B's Country Kitchen. He knows the basics. He can tell me when he's hungry in sign. When he's thirsty in sign, he can tell me, "Thank you, please, I love you." He can tell me all of the basic necessities in sign. When he wants to change his clothes, he can tell me in sign. And I look at him and be like, "You still want to learn?" And he said, "Just in case, I'm not guaranteed to have my hearing." Well, he didn't use the word guarantee. If I'm not going to have my hearing forever. And I'm like, "So what makes you think that?" He said, "I was reading it."
Right.
So I'm like, "So you're just going around reading about deaf people?" He's like,
absolutely.
Something I should know.
Right.
And he's very bright. And I look at him, I be like, and I tell him he's amazing. But now he feels like I'm amazing now because he's now in boxing. He plays basketball. He plays football.
Right.
But the thought of him receiving a concussion heightens the length of time. I mean, the amount of the chances of him having another stroke by 50%. Right. So he has a 50% chance of having a stroke every time he hits his head. And then the older he gets, the more chances it rises. Right. So by the time he's 18, his chances of having a stroke will be 75%. They saying it's almost a guarantee he will have another stroke in his lifetime. Which, am I prepared for that? Hopefully, my body is able to take care of if it happens. Right. I pray to God every day it doesn't. And he says, all of my siblings, all of my brothers and sisters, nothing is wrong with them. I said, ain't nothing wrong with you either. Now get up and clean your room. Right. He tries to use that to his advantage, though. You got to be careful what you tell these kids.
I mean, they'll use everything that you throw at them as an advantage to get over. You know, even when they just got a regular cold. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I know.
I blame myself.
I know as a parent, I would probably do the same thing. Like, what did I do in my life to pass this down? But then you just say, no, this is just their battle. This is what they have to fight through because we all have it. Mm-hmm. Like we all have a battle. It doesn't matter at what stage in life we get the battle and whether it's going to be a long battle. But these are the things that show the kind of character that you have as a parent to love your child no matter what. Yeah. Listen, there isn't a child. If I don't care what kind of deficiency or disability my child will have, I'm gonna love my child with my everything. And like Dante said, it's not a disappointment. It's the hurt and trying to protect them from insensitive people. Like I already know. Like,
but I use the word disappointment. I didn't mean to cut you off, but Dante, I use the word disappointment because you automatically assume your child will be healthy without question. You go through 40 weeks of pregnancy and everything is fine for the whole entire 40 weeks. I had to get an ultrasound every other week. Right. From 4 months until birth. Every other week I got an ultrasound. No indicator saying there was anything wrong with any one of my twins. Right. I went for a stress test. If I got an ultrasound this week, I got a stress test next week because I had them at 39. So if I got an ultrasound this week, I got a stress test next week. If I got a stress test, I had to get blood work done. Like they kept doing it. I kept getting my sugar tested. It was so many things. All the precautionary measures was there to say that I was going to have 2 healthy, beautiful children. When they were born, they was 6'11" and 5'14". They are 2 big kids for twins. That one baby, that's over 12 pounds. Huh. So I had 2 healthy children. You couldn't tell me I didn't have 2 healthy children. Right. So when they come in there and they say it's something wrong with one of them, obviously I did something wrong. I had to have done something wrong.
I mean, as a parent, you're going to take on the guilt of it because you're like, well, what else could have happened? You know, and as they explained it to you, he had a very stressful birth. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But they ain't come with that first.
Right
That's
away.
She asked me. She said, so I have to ask you a few things. Now, before you go for a scheduled cesarean, before you go in there, you have to go get pre-admission testing. So that means you get all your blood work done. They find out if you have any diseases.
Right, preeclampsia.
They find out any iron deficiencies, anything you can possibly have, they look at in your blood work.
That's what happened with the twins.
Right.
Like, her mom just went for a regular appointment. She wasn't feeling good, and she He had preeclampsia, so they had to do an emergency C-section.
Yes.
She was pissed. That was her baby shower and everything. She didn't get none of that.
So here go all of your expectations are
now diabetes. Yeah.
They do everything. So the doctor come in there. She says, "Well, we just need a little of your background history." I said, "Well, what do you need?" She says, and she runs it down for like, is stroke common in your family, heart attacks, high blood pressure, diabetes. And she runs all of that down. And then she asked me about my personal health. Mm-hmm. She said, "So are you HIV positive? Do you have herpes simplex 1 or 2? Do you have this? Do you have that?" She went through all these things. I said, "Ma'am, if you go get my chart, you got every answer that you need." Didn't that pre-admission testing give you all of that?
Why are you so ornery when people ask you questions? She wants to get a feel for you, right?
No.
And she can't get a proper feel for you if you always fighting every doctor that come in the room and ask you. I already answered all that shit. You can't be talking like that.
Because I don't want to keep repeating myself.
You're going to repeat yourself.
Get your chart. Get my chart.
Don't they tell you that when you first come into the hospital, you're going to have to some other people going to come?
Look at you. Not me. I'm telling you, they already know I'm really patient. Like, I'm serious. But my thing was, I can't give you a different answer. I couldn't give you a different answer than my paperwork already gave you. You read my chart before you came in here, so why did you come in here and ask me these questions? That's how I felt. Are you using drugs? Did you happen to get high before you got here?
Like, you're pregnant and tired. She ain't pregnant and tired, and she still don't. I guess she must be pregnant all the time.
No, listen, don't keep asking me the same questions over and over again. I'll be like, "Are you a doctor? Or
yes,
you a student?"
I'm a doctor.
Are you a doctor?
Yes.
Are you a med student?
But I want to get to know you. See, they teach them get to know your patient.
No, they don't teach them that.
They want to get to know you.
Listen, don't come in here with your.
And this doctor about to be all up in your stuff.
No, I already had.
You should be asking him questions.
I already had.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So when you come in, it was like more of an accusation than not a question. Like you weren't questioning me to find out.
That's your problem. Yeah, you think everybody accusing you or something.
I got HIV.
So what? Because I'm black, you think I got HIV? Why? Because I got a fat ass, you think I got HIV?
I'm like, what?
Did you, lady? Did she ask you if you got HIV? Did you ask that white lady next door if she had HIV?
If I saw that it was a Caucasian lady next door.
No, you shut up.
I'm serious. But you don't want to go through that. You don't want to do stuff like that. Like, I'm like, don't ask me all these questions when my chart gave it to you. The first thing they were supposed to do is go check my chart. You don't come and question me. The protocol says, unless it's an emergency, it may be something I can tell you. Otherwise, you got to sit here, you got to go through her chart. You got to find the indicator that says this is why this child had this stroke. So when they finally came back, they said, okay, he had a stressful birth. So this is the only thing that we can say as to reasons why he had a stroke. And I'm like, okay, but for these parents, it was a kid that was flown from Indiana that was in this stroke ward. And her mother had never been there. Neither has her father. They done since had another kid and everything.
Do you think, because Janelle just said they make you feel like you did something wrong.
Exactly.
When they told me I had preeclampsia, they told me I had underlying hypertension. But my doctors never told me. So do you think that because we as patients don't really research our health in our family, and maybe because our family really didn't play the doctors too tough, you know what I mean? And either the men in our family or the women in our family, and everybody was handling it themselves, that now this generation that we have right now doesn't go to the doctors and you don't ask the proper questions. So when you go see a doctor, if your heart is beating fine and your lungs sound good and your blood pressure's cool, you good. But if you sit there and say, listen, doc, listen, my mom has diabetes, or my mom has high blood, my dad died of this, and my uncle got this, and my cousin got this, and this is my family history.
Right.
Like this, so this is my history.
But see, this is why they have that questionnaire for you to fill out.
I need my blood brand. You need to check that shit every 2 months.
But they do. When they give you the questionnaire, they give you the lab paperwork to go get your lab work done. It's up to you to go get it done.
Right.
That's number one. And in families, they hide their sickness so well. Like my father having cancer. So I'm away, right? And I come back, and me and my brother, my oldest brother, wasn't speaking, so I gotta make amends. I need this birthday to be like a perfect birthday. So I think I was turning 35. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm getting off the plane. I'm going straight up the highway to go see my brother. I jump straight on the highway. I go see him on my birthday. So everybody knows that I'm back. But once I go inside the prison, my phone is off. So when I turn my phone back on, it's a Sunday. So it's a church Sunday, church going Sunday. This man that made an announcement in church that he got cancer. So my phone is going off, and my text messages are saying, you need to call your kids, your dad got cancer, this, that, and third. Yo, I cussed everybody out in my phone. Everybody in my phone, everybody that called my phone, I turned it back off because y'all knew that I was nowhere around. So I was trying to figure out why people were calling me and telling me. But my father had kept it a secret for so long that now I'm angry with him. So you just want to hide the fact that you got cancer? Oh, okay, bro. All right. And I walked away from him. I had no empathy in me at that moment. I was hurt.
But don't you?
Because I'm thinking it's detrimental. My father is not going to make it through this storm.
And he was probably thinking the same thing, but he had to. That was a self battle. That was something.
That's not a self battle.
It is
for us battle.
No, but see, this is where, and I say all the time, when we put so much burden on the men in our family to be strong.
Burden?
Not every fucking word.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why? You might not personally put the burden on him. He puts.
You know, I am the #1 burdener.
But he puts it on himself. So at a point where he cannot be weak, cannot believe, and I say this all mental when you're sick. You know what I'm saying? So when you tell a man he has something like cancer, like I ain't trying to hear that shit. I'm healthy. I feel fine. But there are certain steps that you're gonna have to take to get through this sickness. For him to come and now put his burden, right? And that's how he sees it, on the shoulder of his kids or his wife, is hard because he's used to being that rock. And this is why I say sometimes, like, we have to understand, and they say it all the time, check on your strong friend, right? This isn't a suicide situation, but still, like, you all right? You good? Everything all right? Because we will call with what we need.
Right, but never ask.
What do they need?
Right.
And I see that all the time, and I see it a lot with strong men that are able to hold their family up. Like, it's like, dog, like when my phone ring, it's, yo, I need, when does my phone ring and say, yo, you all right?
Yeah.
Why don't you come, let's go grab something to eat real quick. Let me talk to you.
But I
make sure you're straight.
Though, but
because
you can't be the strong person who never opens their mouth.
Oh, a man that never bring that to you.
No, you got to though.
It never
because
been.
let me tell you.
My dad didn't want to come to his wife and tell his wife he was sick. When he felt sick, I'm gonna keep on going. I gotta keep grinding. I gotta get this money. I gotta get this house.
And
I gotta build this. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm sick, who's going to do for me?
And at some point in time, you gotta allow somebody to do just that.
It's a fear of not being. Again, we
so
put a lot of.
What if you could have?
So you need to let people start saying beloved, right? So then that's.
No, it's not gonna happen. What if you could have saved yourself just by letting somebody be your shoulder for that 10 minutes?
And when he finally did,
No.
Because he didn't do it personally.
He made an announcement to the church.
Well, he
didn't even sit. He didn't sit me down. This is how I feel.
Oh, okay.
Now, this is the selfishness at the door.
Right. Okay. He didn't sit you down.
He didn't sit
being
me
the
down
oldest, not knowing how you would take it, not knowing where you would go mentally.
You got weirdo number 1, 2, and 5 texting on my phone, telling me via text. You got so and so calling me. They left me 15 voicemails. I just left my brothers. I just left them upstate on that mountain. Now I gotta call up there, have them call home on the next business day to tell them the news and the information that I received. I still got the letter because I sent him a JPay letter, right? Every other word is spelt wrong because I'm crying in the letter. He gonna say, yeah, you was the dumbest motherfucker in the world, right? I'm like, bro, I was dying right there. Like, I'm sitting in the parking lot down Wilmington. I'm like, I need you home now. Like, you can't ever leave because it ain't no guarantee we all gonna be here when you get back. So you can't go back no more. But for me to find out that my dad had cancer at that moment, yo, I cussed including my dad. I ain't talking to my dad for 6 months.
I ain't never seen you cry. I'm about to cry.
I ain't talked to him for 6 months. So when we went to the doctors, right, this how ignorant I am. 6 months later is his doctor's appointment. I come in. Pat like, hello. I'm like, hello. She's like, you're not speaking? No.
No.
She like, no, I'm just here for the appointment. So I get in the appointment, and the doctor is like, well, you have 3 options, and I'll lay them all out on the table. Yeah, so what's up with this one, and what's up with this one, and what's up with this one? If it was you, doc, what would you do? What would you do as the patient, knowing what you know with your knowledge? And he says, well, you already got it all laid out. I said, so, because this one right here says that he can't be around us for 2 weeks after each treatment because they're going to inject him with the medication, which gives us a chance of contracting the same thing. And then this one says he has to go through chemo and he will be down for a matter of months. But then this one right here says just surgery. No, not an option. No, not an option. So we're going to do these seed things that they're going to put in his nuts. This is how I'm talking to the doctor because I'm mad at him, so now I got no respect.
But guess what would have happened?
What?
If he would have called you and told you about it? I don't think you would have operated in that
Yes,
flesh.
I would have.
And he wanted to see that. He needed to see that.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he does. Yes, he did. His sons weren't around. Right? All he had was his daughters. And he couldn't come to you and bring you the burden of pain. He had to bring you the burden of you ain't going nowhere. How dare you not fucking tell me? So a father knows his children. And he knows you work better when you're angry. You get results when you're bugged and perturbed. When you all happy and shit, you a female. You all flighty. Okay. Now, he bring you something emotional, sitting down and telling you that shit. You wouldn't have done the research like that. You would have been too busy worrying about him not being here. Now you got to keep him here because, motherfucker, you going to live, nigga. You're not going to die. You ain't going nowhere. You going to live because I'm going to kick you in your nuts every goddamn day.
I don't think that's a secret that you should keep, though.
As a man, it's hard. It's hard to admit that.
I watched my aunt think her husband was one of the healthiest people out here. He still ran every day. He still did all of these things. And the whole time, mentally, he was losing his mind.
A strong man doesn't want pity.
One day he woke up in his bathrobe and he went outside. He was hiding on the side of a car like he had a gun. He had a memory lapse of him being in a war. And he was hiding on it. And like he got on the bathrobe, his boxers. So somebody calls and says, it's a man outside with like he's unclothed. So the cops come and he tell them, don't come near me. He's yelling as if he has a gun. So in our minds, we like, damn, what made him snap like that? So they send him to the VA hospital. They give him the treatment that he needed, and then they send him back home, and they give him medication. The medication had him so sedated that we didn't know who he was anymore. Right. However, instead of him telling my aunt that his diabetes, his type 1 diabetes was like taking a toll on his body parts, his organs and things like that, he started to set things in order for her. Mm-hmm. So he was doing things because he knew his last days was coming. Right. And he was preparing her to not be a financial burden on anyone else. So he moved her out of a big house, moved her to a house he knows she would be able to afford. He set up her finances to the point where till this day, she still doesn't have to pay the rent because it still comes out of the monies that's been left for her. Right. And he left her with everything that he was out here doing for her. And he taught her everything but how to live without him. Mm-hmm. So everything that she went through, everything that was affecting her, like
what you tell me all the time?
What? I don't know.
When you planning something,
post-traumatic stress,
and you give out the information that you're planning something, usually you're not able to plan it the way you want to.
Right.
You're not able to. So it's best to sit and plan off to the side, right? So people can experience the full effect of it when it's ready. Right. As a man, we carry a lot. Again, they're not burdens, but we carry a lot of responsibility. You should. As a man.
Right.
If you don't carry a lot of responsibilities, then you're not truly a man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you allow yourself to carry them, it's hard for you to then reach over and tell your partner, tell your daughters, tell your kids that tomorrow you may not be here.
Right.
It's very hard to see because now everybody's in a frantic. Everybody's upset. Everybody's dealing with this. I don't know what I would do if I was to figure out or somebody was to tell me, yo, Pierre, you sick again. Right? I'm not telling nobody anything the first time. I didn't tell nobody nothing. I'm dealing with treatments away from here. You have to be able to tell people, listen, man, I may not be here next month. I may not be here in 6 months, but I'm setting things together for you so you'll be great.
Right.
It's scary, man. It's truly scary.
I tell my kids, okay, so 3 years ago, I didn't have enough energy to get through a simple female cycle. I didn't have any energy. It would literally sit me down for 6 days. Huh. Like my blood levels would drop drastically. My iron level would drop to a 4. So my GYN was the only person who could help me. Shout out to Dr. Ginsburg. Happy retirement to you too. So he was the only person that could help me, and he gave me strong suggestions to be dependent on birth control for the rest of my life, to have my uterus removed, or to it was something else that I could do. He had already given me an ablation, which he removed the inner lining of my uterus. He had already given me an ablation.
Ablation.
Yeah. He had already given me that. He had already given me medication it was a blood thinner, so I would go from the 7 days to 10 to maybe 12 days. He had already given me all the different steps of it. So my kids are like, Mom, like I was so pale. I had no color to me at all. And my kids are like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing, I'm fine. I'm telling them I'm fine. So when I tell them I gotta go in the hospital, I gotta get a surgery done, I break it down. So I gotta get a surgery done, yo, because I can't keep coming on my period. This is how I'm talking to them. So they like, okay. So I go to the hospital, and he tells me in front of my oldest daughter, he says, so we need you to sign this consent in case you need a blood transfusion. So she's like, well, why would she need a blood transfusion? And he's looking at me, I'm looking at him. I'm like, it's just a precautionary measure. So after I get the surgery done, I'm now, see, I didn't have fibroids. That was the worst thing. So after the surgery is done, I'm now too weak to do anything. So he comes and he says, listen, your blood, your iron level is like a 3.5. Like somebody has to make the executive decision to say you get a blood transfusion right now, or you're gonna check right here. So here come my oldest daughter. She got long ass legs, so her legs into the door first. She's like, what's your whole thing though? Like, what's up? So I'm like, oh, now don't let this hospital bed fool you. You know, this pillow ain't light. So I'm trying to break the ice, but the whole time she's scared, and I can see it in her face.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, listen, well, here's the thing. So I don't want their blood because they can't give me what I need. So she like, well, I mean, you got 7 C's running around this joint. Like, can y'all get blood from us? And they said, well, it's not going to happen fast enough. Like, even if we tested y'all today, she needs it right now. So she like, well, give it to her. I'm like, nah, they're not giving me somebody else's blood. So they called my dad. They like, give it to her. I'm like, nah, he ain't even got no say-so in this. This one I pulled a married card. Nah, I'm married. Nobody has any say-so. Because I know he's not going to come. And wrong answer.
He can't.
So, nonetheless, I go in the bathroom, and I'm in the bathroom, and I'm too weak to even use the bathroom on my own. And I wake up, and now I literally don't remember using the bathroom, nothing. I saw the sink. I was on the floor. Janice was kind of sort of under me. Yeah, she almost died. I'm dying. I wake up. It's a whole bag of blood over top of me. I'm like, so y'all just going to let them give me these people blood, though? Like, y'all don't even know if it's tainted or anything. They like, well, they had to test it first, right?
They tested.
So now I said they gave me Caucasian blood because I couldn't cook for like 7 months.
No, that wasn't why you couldn't cook for 7 months.
No, for real. The chicken was not.
You already had Caucasian blood in you.
I ate hoagies and chicken.
With mayonnaise?
For 7 months straight.
White people like mayonnaise.
No, they don't. They like just the bread and the cheese.
They love mayonnaise.
No, they don't.
Hey, can I get some extra mayo?
Transfusions. I had 2. The one wasn't enough. I had 2 transfusions, and I tell women all the time, especially when they tell me that their cycle, and not to talk about it while Pierre's in there, but when women tell me that their cycles are heavy, I tell them it's something they need to go get checked, because it could be fibroids, but it also could be like just a bad iron deficiency. Mm-hmm. I didn't have fibroids. I didn't have bad fibroids. I had a bad iron deficiency, and it was because I supplemented 2 meals a day with ice. I would eat 6 cups of ice between breakfast and lunch, and then I would have a small dinner. And at bedtime, I would have a cup of ice on the side, and then wake up in the middle of the night and get another cup of ice. So I ate ice so much that I knew I had an iron deficiency since I had my daughter, my first daughter. But it was something that I felt like I still was healthy and I still was young.
You done talking about your cycle?
Yeah, I was just talking about an iron deficiency.
Oh,
okay. Bella had 7 transfusions in 3 days. For real, Miss Bush, I thought I was like they gave me the white people blood. Like no matter what I cooked, it was nasty. I'm like, man, this food is bland. I kept going, this is horrible. I'm making the kids test it. They like, yeah, you ain't got to check. We ate out for 6 months. It was like $8,000 for us to eat out for 6 months. I did the math on that. It was crazy.
I mean,
blood transfusions is crazy though, Lou. They are super crazy. Like it's crazy that they can actually push someone else's blood into your system. And it was crazy because I got a blood transfusion 2 days after Valentine's Day. So I got it on the 16th of February. And the blood transfusion, like my color instantly came back.
Right.
And I instantly had energy.
Right.
And it was crazy because I never in a million years realized what it was doing for me.
You thought vampires wasn't a real thing?
Listen, I'm like, and I was a walking one. I ain't had nothing in me. That I couldn't donate blood at the time if I wanted to. They could. It was bad because the nurse kept saying, I can't get no blood out of you. I'm like, well, it's there. I'm walking around here.
You was empty.
I was almost damn near empty. Like,
yeah.
We got to restart your stuff.
You had a quarter of a tank.
They looked at me. I said, well, like my kidneys, my liver, nothing was shutting down. So I
you had enough down there. It didn't get up top
like
yet.
I was healthy. This is how I'm walking around. Shit, I'm healthy. Okay. You know, when you make it to a certain age, and you know you healthy. You like, shit, I'm healthy. Here all along, I was walking dead. I was like, wow.
Children, when and this is another thing I tell, and this is why
the twins did it to me.
We might change the topic. This is why when I say it's not so much the man's responsibility when y'all having sex, because it changes your whole mind. It changes your whole structure is changed from the time you get pregnant to the time you give birth.
Right.
Your mental. Your everything about the way you think now changes because what you're dealing with is you're creating your body. Hold on.
Destined to do that.
But again, whether it's destined to do it, the man doesn't take on that responsibility.
Right.
So he doesn't know how that feels to nurture a baby growing inside of you and to bond with that baby and to have thoughts in your dreams is about that baby and that you and that baby. I know somebody. I sat with somebody one day and just talking about being pregnant. Like. How does it feel?
Amazing.
Right. When you sleep at night, do you talk to the baby?
When I'm asleep.
Does the baby? Because this lady that I was talking to said for 9 months, she had a conversation with her child. For 9 months when she went to sleep, listen to me. For 9 months when she went to sleep, she had a conversation with her child. I said, wow, what did y'all talk about? She said, life. I said, how old is your child now? 18. And everything that he said in the dreams that he wanted to do.
So he spoke to him in a dream.
He did it. So I said, hold on, everything in life. Mom, I want to play basketball. Mom, I'm going by when I turn 10, I'm gonna get you a nice car. Like little things. I said, you remember these dreams? She was like, I remember them. I wrote them down in the morning, and she showed me the book.
See, so here's the thing, right? I never enjoyed being pregnant until my twins. Cause my first pregnancy was 15, so it was like it was my first adult decision.
Right.
This is mine. I own this. No one can take it from me. So I didn't get to enjoy being pregnant because I was too busy. I kind of sort of was embarrassed because people was like, she's having a baby and she's a baby herself. She's doing this and oh my God, I can't believe Nafati is having a baby. I knew she was going to have a baby. She wasn't never going to be nothing anyway. Those were the fights that I had every single solitary day. So being pregnant at 15, I used to be like, so when she was born, she was the most beautiful thing. She smelled so good, and she was mine. So I went from 132 pounds to 217 pounds. Like, I made sure she was healthy regardless. And it was crazy because she still was mine. That was ownership. The second time I was pregnant, nobody knew. The third time I ended up pregnant, nobody knew. Like, it was like, wow, like, you got 3 kids? Yeah, I got 3 kids. And after my son was born, now I'm grown. Now I'm at the point where you can't tell me nothing because I done provided Pampers, wipes, and milk for 3 children without the welfare system, without the help of anybody else, and I did this on my own. So anything you have to say, Miss So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so, it no longer affects me because I've done this by myself. So then it was like, okay, it was a break, a 5-year break. So now that I'm at a 5-year break, I say, okay, well, here I am. I'm having a baby, about to be married, and we're building a family. And I'm looking at it like, I still ain't. No, I got over the 8 months and was like, yeah, I'm going to New York and get an abortion. He was like, are you going to hell? I said, well, I've been going to hell for a long time. I was just there. I literally said this to him. He'll say it. I said, I was just there yesterday. It wasn't that bad. Good morning, Dawn. I'm serious.
But I truly believe that. Like, I mean, the diabetes. Zaria's mom now, right now has diabetes, and she's fighting that. And it's like, okay, well, you didn't have it before you got pregnant. See, right. the baby will create different pathways.
That's why they give us that sugar.
Health-wise and neurological, like different pathways open up. And like I said, this lady that I spoke to, like she's, I guess she's something like a median almost now. You feel me? Because of that.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome just to talk to people about the different effects of pregnancy.
I can't tell you a dream that I had any of the times that I was pregnant besides my grandmother coming to me. Only because I was so happy to get sleep when I was pregnant. Right. Like the only child that I didn't gain weight with, and he was my largest child, was my oldest son. He was 9 pounds and 10 ounces. I ain't gained a pound, nothing. I was 162 the whole entire time I was pregnant. Like literally when I said to my father, because I went back home to my father's house to stay, because my house was being done up the gardens. When I said to my father, hey Dad, can you take me to the hospital? He said, for what? I said, my water just broke. He fell in the shower. Boom. Pick him Pat with his robe. I told you she was pregnant. He said, Pat, I ain't got time for this. I don't got time. And he dropped me off at the emergency room. I had one foot on the ground, the other one was still in the car, and the man was pulling off. Yes, he was pulling off. So I'm thinking he just left me here. Like he left me by myself. So my sister was supposed to come. She was my support person. And when I had my son, they gave me an emergency C-section. Good morning, Dad. He remember all of this. So they gave me an emergency C-section in the morning time because my son's heart rate dropped. And he was already like crowning, but his heart rate went from 112 to 98 to 68. And then the Dr. Rosen came in, he said, we got to prep this lady, she's going down. And they still was just standing there looking. And he was like, did you not hear what I said? Let's go. They gave me a spinal tap on the way to the OR because they had to get him out so fast. And he was so far down that they cut his eye on the way out and fractured his collarbone. So like, the gratefulness in me said they got him out safe and he was alive and he was healthy. Right. So I was fine, but I could see it. I'm high as a kite, but I could see his face keep bleeding and this lady keep wiping it off. And it bleeds again and then wipes it off. So they said they told me his vision might be a little impaired and he might be, this little monster. He was like the baddest kid on the block. No vision impairedness, no nothing. Well,
he was the first boy after 2 girls.
Yeah.
Right, and then he was your child, so.
Yeah, he was bad.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
I know, me either. But it was just I never enjoyed being pregnant until my twins. Cause now that I got to my twins, I'm married. Like we good, we together. I'm not worried about nothing. But then I'm not a good housemaid. So you gotta go. I gotta stay here, but you gotta move out. They said she's pregnant. I said, I'm what? I'm not pregnant. This little baby can make her own noodles in the microwave.
Better.
They said, no, you really are pregnant. I said, I can't be. She can make her own peanut jelly too.
No, we shall know.
I'm serious. It's a lot of things that make the decisions if you have another kid.
But anyway, now to me is a fighter. You feel me? So, her kids are
Somebody must have told my dad I was talking about them.
Kids are going to be the same way. But today's conversation or the agenda of today's meeting.
Yes.
Because coming in 2019, we will have agendas for the morning meeting. Was basically about parents dealing with the disabilities in children.
Bubba was horrible.
And I think it's important for parents to understand that the disability is not your burden to carry, right? And it's not a burden for the child to carry. It's an opportunity to share love and compassion with your children, right? It's your job to protect them. Yeah. It's not your fault that this happened. This is the way things work. And you have to give that energy, that positive energy, that love to your child.
Right.
And push them to be the greatest no matter what. Shout out to all the strong parents out there that are dealing with children with disabilities.
Yeah. My daughter, my 15-year-old daughter, she says, I think I want to adopt. I don't think I want to have kids. And I asked her, first of all, is something you want to tell me.
Right.
That's how you was. Is something you want to tell me?
Why you even thinking about kids?
So she was like, no. She was like, because I see it like this. If I have a child with a disability, I can't have any more kids.
Right.
And I said, why? In fear that the next one will have a disability too. She said, no, because I owe this child all of my time. So I can't ration my time between children, and this one needs 90% of my time. And I never want my children to feel as though I'm giving one more than I'm giving the other. So I said, so what if you have a child that doesn't have a disability? And she says, well, then I'll have another one. I said, now what if that child has a disability? How do you explain it to your oldest child? She said, well, then I'll have to cross that bridge when I get there. She says, but I think I want to adopt, and I want to adopt a child with a disability because so many of them are in the foster care system because their parents have left them. And I'm like, well, how do you know this? She said, I researched it. She says, I'm going to write a paper about it. She says, but children with disability are left all the time.
Right.
And I said, why do you think they're left? And she says, because their parents are ignorant.
Right. Well,
I said, I had to ask her, it's her opinion.
Right.
So I said, why do you assume that they're ignorant? She says, because no child is more perfect than the other. They're all perfect. And then this is how she go to church every Sunday. Right. Shout out to Cal, the pastor of Temperate Brotherly Love CC Church.
Who is Cal?
Calvin Williams.
Okay, I'm about to say.
Shout out to Cal. She stays with her head in the books, whether it's the Bible or the books. She says, God made us all perfect in his eyes. So what we see as a deficiency is not a deficiency in his eyes. It's a perfect child. Right. And she says, who says that child doesn't deserve love? And I said, well, you got it for him. She said, I do, and I got the time too.
Damn.
I like that little girl, that little 15-year-old.
I mean, that's and listen, out of the mouth of babes, man. That's how you have to look at it. Like that's really how you have to look at it.
That is true.
I just said that earlier. You feel me? That deficiency for your senses just heightens your other senses. Like, and for the children with autism that deal with that, you feel me? Asperger's.
Let me tell you, my nephew is autistic. And if you buy him a video game, he'll play that video game all night long until he completes the game, right? So Fortnite is not a challenge to him anymore. Right. They keep upgrading, and he just play it all night long until he gets through it. But him being autistic, you look at him and you can tell there's something, but you're not sure. He's well kept. Right. He just doesn't speak to people he don't know. Right. But once he starts talking, he don't stop. So him and Sharona Germany's daughter, Nia, oh my God, I love her. Their energy is everything. So the first time I ever heard my nephew speak, he had to be like 7. We were going to Clementon Park. And he kept saying, ring of fire. We don't know what he's talking about. Right. Ring of fire. Right. We still don't know what he's talking about. So then finally we look up and it says ring of fire. It's this whole big ring of fire wheel. Okay. And he's like, that ring of fire. He got on this ride 9 times. 9 times. I said, why would you let him get on there?
That's what he wanted.
That's what he does. Right. Girl, you is crazy. Did you see how high that ride go up? He got on there 9 times. Like he has no fear in him. Right. None whatsoever. And I'm like, and it's crazy because we don't teach our children how to deal with children with disabilities. Right. They stare. Mm-hmm. They treat them as if they're disease ridden. Right. And it's sad. So he rides the school bus to school, and the kids was like jumping him. Wait, they doing what? What bus he get on?
Yeah. Now watch this.
We all getting on this.
Now watch this.
Hold on, and he gonna hit him back. So he kept saying, I keep telling them to leave me alone, and they won't leave me alone. And I'm thinking, why is he on the bus with the bad kids anyway? Right. So the behavior kids ride a different bus, but they ride a bus with the kids with disabilities as well. Mm-hmm. So they make him sit in the front of the bus, and this bad kid sits behind them and keeps hitting him in his head. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm gonna hit him in his head. I promise you, I wanted to rumble the mom and everything. We all going to this bus stop. My dad like, you better not. What do you mean you better not? If it was one of us, we'd have been rumbling at the bus stop. Right. But how do you not on the bus or nothing?
I think we need to teach compassion to our children, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's one of the things that while your child that between 1 and 5 is going to dictate the type of 5 to 10-year-old you're going to have, and then that time is going to dictate the type of 10 to 15-year-old you're going to have. So at 1 to 5, if you're teaching your child compassion, you understand what I'm saying, and love and understanding and compromise and sharing and all that other shit, by the time they get to 5 and 10, you can then teach them how to clean. And but if you ain't teaching them kids none of that from 1 to 5, you're not teaching them compassion and understanding people and how to speak to people and things like that. By the time he get to 10, man, he's a stone cold. He or she is a stone cold nut. And then we wondering why you're getting suspended every day. So I talked to somebody yesterday. They trying to start a program, which is actually pretty awesome. And I wish we would have had it. That your child is never suspended. They come to this program, you drop them off, and we talk to them and tutor them and get them the help that they need till they get back in school. Man, I think that's awesome. That's awesome. So shout out to him for thinking about that program. Because again, I don't really think that a child is really troubled. And we were talking about this a couple weeks ago when we talked about the juvenile system, the jailing system, and how it works and how it basically takes advantage of our community and putting our young men and getting them ready for jail when, you know, there are certain programs that should be in place to talk to these kids because they don't know. When a 10-year-old accidentally pulls out his dad's gun and grabs it and pulls the trigger and kills his friend, he didn't know he was doing that. So for you to sentence him to 10 to 20 years, you feel me, and put him in juvenile and then re-sentence him again when he turns 18 to another 5 to 10 years, like, he didn't know what he was doing.
They having donuts for Dad's Day at Chester High. It's them.
When they doing that?
It's coming.
Oh. Well, I'll be there.
Of course you will. They're having donuts for Dad's Day. And at Chester High, they had it the other day at the Chester Community Charter School, right? And I saw a young man write a status on Facebook and says, today was one of the best days of my life. Outside of the birth of my children, anything that I can do with them is amazing. So he breaks it down. He says, today was Donuts for Dad's Day at the charter school, and I had the ability of finally being there for my kids. If you know my past, you understand my story. So he says, I was so happy to be there for my daughter. He says, but I was more happy to see the kids the other fathers that was there. I applaud you all. I respect you all. No matter where you're from, I respect you. He said, but for those who didn't show up, you have to do better. He said it was too many kids there without fathers, but they were looking at the door waiting for their dads to come in. He said, I ended up sitting at the table with like 4 kids. Like, hey, I got to stand in the gap somehow. Somebody stood there for me.
I ain't got no problem.
So I respect him for this. And he says, but we as men have to do better because our children need us, especially our daughters. He says, because if we are no longer there for them, they will look for us in every man that comes their way. And I looked at that stat like 9 times to get an understanding of, number one, who was saying it, and coming from him. I'm like, damn, like that's deep though. Like it's deep because at one point in time he was in the streets and he knows what it's like to not be able to go to the school because you might run into an enemy. So he knows what it feels like to not be able to be there for your kid. And he knows all of these things. And Donuts for Dads, I don't know, I felt I was borderline iffy about it. Because I felt like now you're showing kids that their dads ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I mean, when you hold Donuts for Dads, understand this. If the dad is working a first shift job, he really can't make it. But the child knows because he knows his dad's schedule. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes it's kind of here or there. But the fact that for the fathers that can make it, right, they share that experience with all the children. Because when you go home 9 times out of 10, you'll get to spend time with your child if you're in the same house. But even if your dad is active in your life, he's going to be at that school. If he's not going to be at that. You know that. But again, those fathers that go and are able to go to Donut, I've gone to them several times, and I don't just sit and just talk to my son.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I check his desk out, or I check on my daughter. I check the desk out. I check everything out, and then I say, well, who are your friends? You feel me? Let me introduce myself. So when they see me, they be like, what's up, Mr. Pierre? My kids hate it because all their friends come up to me. What's going on? Hey, Mr. Pierre. One of my daughter's friends. Hey, Dad. You feel me? Like, absolutely. That's who I am.
Nah, bro. I don't play that.
You don't play what?
Don't call my dad sis.
See, that's your problem.
Yeah,
see, you got it. But you can't. We can't be like that anymore because we're suffering too much out here. And if you got something good, you should want to share it. Because it doesn't take away from what you're going to get because that's truly your dad. You feel me? But if he has a moment, if I see that young lady out here and something wrong, the fact that she has a love for me and I have a love for her, I can help her. You know what I'm saying? So stop being selfish all your life, man. You got to get that shit in check. I'm tired of that shit. Pastor Calvin, talk to your daughter, man. You need to really read them words in red because Jesus wasn't selfish. He died for your sins.
Thank you.
See?
I appreciate it. Shout out to Jay.
Anyway, so everybody knows I'm still on strike, right? But I just got some awesome news. Like Carson Wentz is not going to be playing this Sunday. You feel me? Nick Foles is back, so we're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to win it again. You feel me? Oh, am I delusional?
Yes, you are.
You think I'm delusional? I done lost my mind. Nah, but I told.
Ben bench Wentz.
Nah, not benched him. Like. He just came off a knee surgery. I wouldn't have brought him back this season anyway. It was a scrap from the rip. You didn't have no cornerbacks. You didn't have no defense. You knew what you was doing.
And
so I would have let Foles. I would have let Foles play and got Wentz back. But see, Wentz never won it, and he got the team right there. You feel me? He didn't win the Super Bowl,
right.
So he wants to get out there. But I wouldn't have. So anyway, he's injured. His back is hurting. Hopefully, it's not
conveniently
a Dwight Howard back injury. But I told Maserati Rand. We talked on Monday about benching Wentz for the rest of the season because the season's pretty much over.
Aren't you supposed to be at work?
No, he's not. He's supposed to be right here. See? Share your father.
Who?
You. Stop being so selfish.
I don't have to share my dad.
Yes, you do.
He gonna say, but other children did that when you was in school. Okay,
right.
And I didn't like it then.
He is everybody's dad.
No, he's mine.
He's a positive influence in the city.
Okay, that's not their dad.
He is your dad.
I know.
Right. Can't take that away. He's not my dad, but I see him as a fatherly figure. Right. A man that I would strive to want to be like. See, or I can pick somebody else who's definitely unavailable to be a dad because he's not a dad to his kids. See, wouldn't you want every man to be like that?
I don't like you.
I know you don't. I don't like you either. But anyway, back to these Beagles. What? I'm on strike, so I can talk about them if I want. They tatted on me. See there? Same bird. This is when we were good. This Kelly Green, it's my childhood right here.
Nonetheless.
That midnight green, I don't even really mess with like that. But yeah, we playing the Rams this weekend. So Twain Bush.
Let's go.
Get that money. Let's get that money on the line. You feel me? I need a year full of free haircuts.
Rita said, please don't tell her now she has to share her dad.
I ain't trying to hear that.
I've been sharing my dad since I was 14 years old. I've been sharing him my whole entire life.
Yeah, your whole entire life.
However,
you've been sharing it with the public since you was 14?
Since I was 14 years old.
But that's a benefit.
When he decided that he was going to volunteer at Chester High.
Why?
Why what?
Why did he volunteer at Chester High?
Because I was there.
More than any.
I was his first child to high school.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But more than anything, it was protection for you to make sure you.
I just said that.
Right. So how can you? But he's guiding other men. He's guiding other women and showing people that you can be great for your community. Like, so you gotta come out of that for real. Or we gonna lock you.
He can do that.
We gonna have to lock you in the closet while you running for mayor.
My dad running for mayor?
Is he? He should.
Why?
Why shouldn't he?
Why should he?
Because you need love in that office.
Okay.
Right.
He can go over there and spread the love.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
All right, okay. I know you ain't gonna beat me up. And I'm not taking you to the market today. Because I got shit to do.
I asked you that before the show and you said no. That's what you get for answering no first. You should have said why. Nobody believes that. Listen, I'm not doing that.
CMPradio.net. This is the morning meeting. Share this one time for the love. Again, shout out to everybody out there that's dealing with difficulties in life. Stay strong.
Chester needs. Where'd you just come from, Raymond Morris?
The storm won't last long.
He just popped in talking about Chester needs him. Chester got him. He's at everybody's house. He's giving everybody true compassion. He does it without payment. He's already here. Chester got him.
Let's go ahead and give him that part-time job so he can get that great part-time paycheck with a part-time car allowance.
Why can't he just be retired?
I would love to see Mr. Bear in that car with
Why can't
with the lights
just be retired?
I just want to be on
his grandchildren.
I just want to be on the chief of staff.
And his great-grandchildren.
He can.
Okay.
He's trying to get them to enjoy a greater Chester. Right?
Okay.
Not the Chester that we grew up in.
He can be a part of the rebuild of Chester.
You can't do it from the outside no more now. You got to be inside.
No,
you got to get inside the room. We can't change the justice system unless we got judges that are black. Right? We can't change the... Yes. There you go. Petty. You got to get in the room to make change. You can't change it from the outside. You can't. He in
the room all the time.
You want to change the time on the clock, you got to take the clock off the wall and do the back. You can't sit at it and look. I want the He got to go back out.
He's in the room all the time.
No.
I just feel like people don't have respect for those people in those positions.
In what position?
In the position for the city council or the mayor.
I ain't asking you to respect me. Respect my love for the city. Respect that I'm coming out here and I'm asking and I'm showing you change.
And not speak before you ask a question.
People walk up to me and not speak about
and then
coming on the radio show.
What was wrong with the hello?
Huh?
What's up? How you doing?
We said that this morning when we walked in Dunkin' Donuts. Good morning. She said it 3 times and I told you. See, sometimes people wake up, their shoes too tight. They breath stink.
You want to say that man's shoes was too small.
They was. You ain't see his corns at the top of the joint. He turned around, looked right at me like, we talking about my shoes.
Might be too
my motherfucking feet hurt. You know my feet hurt. What's wrong with you? It was salty. But this is what I'm saying.
Raymond Morris, I'm not
Stop
going for it. Listen, I've shared my dad for far too long. I just want my dad to enjoy me for the rest of my life. That's it. And be the great-grandfather and grandfather that he is. That's it. I want him to enjoy. Sit home and watch TV with all his mini remotes and stuff. I don't want him stressed out over other problems more. I want him to be a retired black man living his best days.
Hey.
That's that.
Hey, not
Calvin Williams for mayor.
Hey, not fatigue. Stop being selfish.
That's not
CMPRadio.net. This is the Morning Meeting. Queen Nif. Missy ass said that we in the building, man.
You don't say trick.
Trick. That's truck. Why would it say trick? Trick FaceTime.
I can't see the
Yo, bull. I'm almost done now. Why was up?
He talked about me answering the phone. Y'all see this?
All right, I'll be right there. Yeah, he twisted his ankle yesterday.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, he twisted his ankle. He beat Kev, Yes Guy's son, yesterday in Brookhaven.
Why is it you and JP beating you and Kev's sons the only
going
team?
at it?
It ain't the team. It's JP's son played Kev's son.
Because it's baby Yes Guy.
What? They like, yeah, JP's son beat Kev Yes Guy's son yesterday. They say baby Yes Guy.
Right.
I'm like, what team they play for? Nobody know that. It's just dumb too.
It's just dumb too going at it. But no. I want to check his son's birth certificate because that joker is in the 5th grade. He about 6'9". He ain't really that tall, but he tall. He got a lot of talent.
My son was talking yesterday. My son and my nephew, they was in the kitchen talking not yesterday, day before yesterday, and they was laughing. They was like, "Yo, this generation is so small." And my son said, "Yeah, bro, aren't they?" Because my daughter graduated, she 5'6". Right. So Daki says, "Man, I was 5'9" in the 6th grade." He was, and Bubba was like, "Me too." And then when I got to 9th grade, I've been 6'2" ever since. Right. He like, they little like. Kai only 5'4".
Well, see,
5'1".
Now, you know they had put these steroids.
They did something
in the milk, right, for that generation because they needed them to be crazy. So when they go, it was like super slaves. Now they done made too many.
You said it's going down in January.
Now they done made too many super slaves, so they trying to make super midgets, right?
Super midgets.
So they making super midgets, so the kids are smaller. Pay attention to the government, man. I'm trying to tell you how they going. They went with the big. They went with the big. Now they going with the small. But yeah, and both of us, you know, me and Kev, we suffer from this thing, no biddyitis. Like the mothers of our children don't want them playing biddy.
Wow.
I don't know. Because we was probably doing dumb shit, and they don't want to be around all them people. They don't want to be around Chester people. You ain't do nothing out Brookhaven, I can go out Brookhaven. You know how y'all females is. So, anyway.
I ain't one of them people. My son played for biddy.
Well, see, you're from Chester. They're not from Chester.
Oh.
See?
Oh, well, if they don't live here and they ain't from here, I don't play your kid here either.
We ain't from Brookhaven either.
Where they live at?
In Chester.
They live here?
I guess. She might live out Brookhaven. But
she don't live
in Chester.
But she ain't from here.
Nah, she from Southwood.
I'll take them up there and play.
Nah,
I like they
She been down here for 20 years, 20 plus years.
Care. Who she know up there? I'll take them up there and play. They got rec up there.
Yeah, they definitely got some.
I went up there to the joint off of 63rd and Woodland. You got to turn down that way.
And that's her neighborhood too, 56 and Woodland.
Listen, it's a gym back that joint.
Right.
It's rough in there.
Yeah,
when you walk up to that joint,
it's
it's bring back graffiti
blood and sweat.
Yeah.
Damn, who could? Little 9-year-old walking past, teeth all knocked out his mouth. Grab your teeth. You come here and embarrass me like that, play. Damn, lady, it's just basketball.
I stood by the door the whole game.
Yeah.
They like, you don't want to sit down?
Because I don't know where I gotta go.
This got real in here. This kid's basketball.
Listen, man, it get real.
I'm like, nah, my son is no.
So I just want him to have fun. I'm worried about academics. I mean, if we be able to buck up on a scholarship to a HBCU, that's even greater. Because that's where we going. Get your mind right. Anyway, tomorrow's agenda will be set by our number one fan. So let us know what you want us to talk about tomorrow, man, because we do this every day. We don't do this once a week. No. We don't do it twice a week, and we don't really have a whole lot of guests. A lot of people don't like to come up here and sit with us because we're so mean.
They don't like to sit with me. They wait till I'm gone and then call Pierre and be like, hey, so she's on vacation this week. Do you think that I could come up? Say it.
A lot of people love you. People love you.
No, they don't like. They don't like. See, last night.
Let's go.
Wait till tomorrow. Last night when we was talking about black businesses, right. We can talk about black businesses tomorrow.
We talking about black businesses tomorrow.
Black businesses tomorrow.
Okay. Do you think we should get a black business owner up here?
I am a black business owner.
Outside of you and me, we 2 black business owners in the room. But if we can have a third, right?
Yeah. So, absolutely. I would like. Okay, so if anybody knows any contractors, painters, plumbers, electricians, anything, and they have to be black American. Sunny Services, hit Maine up.
Main busy.
Main busy. We're still going to say we're going to do Black Business Friday. So we're going to do black businesses because black business has a bad reputation in the community. And my thing with black owned businesses is it's all about what you pay for. If you only want to pay me $50, I'm only going to give you $50 worth of work.
Hold on, time out, because that's not it. Because a lot of people overbook themselves, right?
That is true.
And they're not. They want all the money. And when I tell a black business, sometimes you have to be willing to do just one great job. And I heard you say it yesterday.
Yeah.
One great job will set you up for the rest.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? But if you sit there and do 10 bad jobs, that's true. Also setting you up for the rest as well. Because I'm not going to keep coming to you and everybody complaining. Somebody called me last week. I think I made that post. Mm-hmm. Like somebody called me last week, asked me if I knew somebody that did a certain job. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bro, like I don't even know who to recommend you to because every time I recommend somebody, they call me back about what the hell was wrong with him. Joker come to my house and talking about he need to get back in and he come back and he asked me if I want something to drink. I called, hey, yo, bro, like, why you offering the babe alcohol, bro? I sent you there to make some money, and you trying to crack on it, like.
See, but when a person overbooks themselves, some people don't even be overbooked. Like, I kind of sort of think they don't know how to maintain their schedule. So here's my thing, cause I'm a contractor. Well, I don't do the work myself, but I do have like a great team, right? And here's my thing, scheduling is everything, and timely manners are everything. So you have to be that person who is in control of your schedule and understandable to the person who you're doing work for schedule, and you have to be trustworthy. So just think, my guy got keys to my crib, he got keys to the buildings, everything. And I never have to question if anything's going to be out of place or missing when he comes and after he leaves. I never have to question it. I don't have to, if I know for a fact, I don't even have to know that he's going to be there. I don't, like, if I know he left something that he didn't complete, I don't charge it to him. I charge it to the fact that the day got away from him because he's almost a perfectionist. So I give him the benefit of that doubt as long as he comes back and completes his job. Now, you can't be the person who starts something and then think you're going to come back in 30 days. That's not business to me, especially not when my money is being spent.
He come to do your porch and leave the whole front side open. And
yeah. You don't get to do that.
Hey, how you doing? You know that job you were doing? When you going to come and finish it? Oh, man, I'm kind of booked up. Oh, dog, I paid you. Like, what's up? It's hard, but we are definitely going to sit down. We'll find somebody to sit down with us and come in here and talk about black businesses and being a black business and also dealing with black customers, right? Because we want things a certain kind of way, and we always want a discount. So if you're asking for a discount, you're going to get discount service and discount prices.
I'm not buying.
You get what you pay for. Quality over quantity. If that's how you feel, that's how you gonna get it.
I want quality. I'm not assessing my own problems or nothing. So tomorrow morning on the morning meeting, we're going to discuss black-owned businesses and black customers.
So 2019 gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
They not even gonna recognize this show.
Oh Lord.
They not even gonna recognize this show. So we giving you everything.
I'm gonna drink in 2019.
You're not drinking.
I'm not allowed.
No, you drink on the birthday.
On the 22nd.
Yeah.
I was drinking ginger ale last night. Y'all was salty.
So.
I had that one shot of apple E&J, and then everything else was like ginger. I'm like, can you just give me ginger ale and ice? She was like, but no, don't listen.
How many shots of Jameson did I have? I think I had like 4.
Yeah, this
is
definitely going to be good tomorrow, Janelle, because people stereotype black-owned businesses like it's super, super, super crazy. And in the conversation, the topic last night on Mike Martin's show was why people go to the other brother instead of the black brother, and it was crazy because I was offended by it. I was so offended. It was crazy. I was red in the face offended. I was like, "What? No, you do not get to say that."
The patrons of the bar was like, "Why she so hyped like that?"
Because I'm a contractor, and at the end of the day, I'm giving you what you asked for. If you ask me for a Band-Aid, I'm gonna give you a Band-Aid. Now, if you ask me to replace, I'm gonna replace. Don't ask somebody to repair and think you're gonna get a replacement job. No, you ask me to repair. I can't stand it. If you ask me this, I got my catering company going on. If you ask me to get you food and you have a $50 budget, I overly extended myself for this girl. I don't know what her budget was, but I gave her everything to make her menu look inviting for other people to eat. And I can't wait till tomorrow. And just like that, I'm going to see y'all tomorrow morning, same time, same place here on the morning meeting. Don't forget to tune in tonight for KBS Radio. Leroy Ambrose living with a purpose, and parental advisory. Despite the fact that 22 has a modeling gig in Philly and his and hers, I'm going. Parental advisory is still on the way. See you guys tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Goodbye.